correct those notifications. Okay, what are we looking like now? Okay, I see it now. It says it's live. Okay, great. Okay, guys, we all there. Check one, check two.
Testing, I'm here. I'm live.
All right, man. Hey, folks, we want to congratulate everybody tuning in. We apologize for those technical difficulties, a few minutes behind, but nevertheless, we're going to still go ahead and give you some tools, strategies, and insights to help you as we give you the nuggets to take your business and take your personal credit to the next level. My name is Emmanuel Michael. I'm your host. I'm also joined by attorney Charles Irvins and Leslie Peters. They're the co-hosts of the Credit Master Show. They are the brains behind Irvin Law. Irvin Law is the brains behind our personal credit education course that we got, our personal credit education services that we got, and we're just so excited because they decide to give back. And the things that they're doing, we're going to talk about some of the things that they're doing in the marketplace, some of the things they're doing, abroad in other states and other areas. And I just want to welcome each one of those guys to the show. Mr. Irvin, how you doing, sir?
I'm well. How are you, Emmanuel?
Man, I'm outstanding, man. If I was any better, it'd be two of me. Mr. Peters, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm wonderful. Another day above ground. That's a great day for me.
Hey, man, that's great. That's great. That's great. So we're going to go ahead and hop right in, guys. Just tell you a little bit about who we are, our company, Irvin Law and Credit Masters. We have a collaborative partnership, and we're just excited because we're able to give more value to you, the consumers who actually need help. And what we do, folks, is we challenge 100% of all the negative items on your credit report. We do that by using a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And this law was set up and put in place by our Congress to protect you and I as the consumer from the big three credit reporting agencies, namely Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And that law states that these guys must follow so many laws and steps per item before placing anything negative on your credit report. So anything that's negative, inaccurate, erroneous, and obsolete can come off by using this law and using our program. And because we use the law, once it's off permanently. You don't have to worry about it popping back on there again. We customize all your disputes for you and your investigations and make sure these folks follow the law and do their job. Now, we had episode 1 yesterday. If you guys didn't tune in episode 1, you want to make sure you go back, look at yesterday's episode because we set the tone for what this show is going to be about. And we had a couple questions came in after the show, guys, about collections. So I wanted to make sure that I covered that today in episode 2. Episode 2 is called The Credit Slump. And our partners here are going to explain to you folks about the credit slump, how you can go to the next level, what you can do to get out of debt. And, one of the biggest things that assist with the credit slump are collection agencies. It just so happened we had a question come in. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Peters and Mr. Irvin. I don't know which one you all want to pick that up on the collection agency, but let's do this. Let's turn it over to Pete because we know our big brother gonna come in and slam it down at the end.
Yeah. Well, if you can see the question, will you just go ahead and state the question so everybody can hear it?
The first question was, do you guys assist in the state of Mississippi? And I asked what was the issue and what was the problem. It was a case on collections. Now, what I realized is you got twofold things going on. One, an individual's been sued by a collection agency. Okay. The second situation is, that's why I asked the question is where the second situation is hit their credit report. So they have this item on their credit report, not only from their original creditor, but also from a collection agency who has the debt now, and they have taken this person to court. So what can Irvin Law do to assist the individual in a situation like that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. First of all, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it cannot be on there more than once. So that's the first thing. So you can't have the same item on your credit report more than once. That's called a duplicate entry, and that is against the rules and regulations that the Federal Credit Reporting Act stipulates, and that can come off. Secondly, as we look at the issue dealing with the lawsuit itself and what that case is, I can tell you that on the majority of levels, looking at without knowing the specifics of the case and what the details are, I can't speak to that specific case, but I can tell you that most matters with collections can be negotiated to a remedy that works out for the client as well, and done pretty quickly. Because you got to understand that collection agencies really only have one purpose, and that's to collect funds. They don't make any money if they don't collect any. So, so that's the premise of how they come after you. But even at that, there are rules and regulations by which how they have to operate, steps they have to take before they can sue you. And first, we need to look and make sure all those things were done and there were no violations. If they were, then we can immediately get that taken care of.
Amazing. So, so we definitely help with the credit piece on the credit report. Now, Mr. Irvin, what about a person, they don't, most people, when they get notification they're going to get sued, they may get certified mail return receipt. Average person, what they do, they throw it in the corner, they don't pay any attention to it. Then next thing you know, they're getting garnished, and everybody's against them. They've been done wrong. But what we have to also look at is something you do in that process to protect yourself and to defend your rights. So how can you, as an attorney with Irvin Law Firm, how could you help an individual that's, number one, currently in a situation getting sued, and what legal advice could you give them to protect themselves so anybody that's listening to this broadcast don't get caught in that situation again?
Well, the first thing I would tell them, Emmanuel, is to pick up the phone and call me, because
yeah,
a lot of times those collection agencies file with the understanding that people are not going to show up. They are going to ball it up and put it in the corner, or they're going to hide it from themselves. They're going to basically bury their heads in the sand. I can't tell you how many times I've sat in court and watched collection agencies go to the bench, call out case names, have the bailiff call the name of the person who's being sued, and they're not there. So you can't put forward a proper defense if you're not present. And so what does the judge do? Once the bailiff calls that name 3 times, they sign off and they move to the next step of collecting by garnishment. So that's why we have the tools available for them to schedule consultation. Bring your paperwork in so we can see what stage you're in. Make sure we file a timely response, and then go through the steps as Peter's laid out to see if there's a way to get it removed pre-trial, or if we have to we do it before the judge and let them make a decision on it. But they have rules that they're required to follow. A lot of times, honestly, they're following them as far as when it gets to time to sue. We just don't show up.
I've seen that plenty of times, man. We just don't show up. And a lot of times I think it's a lack of knowledge, just not knowing, or, oftentimes you may be working, you barely putting food on the table. You don't have the money to afford an attorney, or you think you don't have the money to afford an attorney. But at the end of the day, it ends up costing you longer in the long run. And, we were talking about that yesterday on yesterday's episode. Most people don't have a credit problem. We have a behavioral problem. It's a behavioral problem, and it's an educational piece. And, that's why we're here, folks, with Irvin Law and Credit Masters. We're here to educate you about your rights, let you know that, hey, you don't have to just settle because, that's the norm. That's what you've always done. There is a second way. The Fair Credit Reporting Act was put in place to protect you as the consumer from these practices like that. So you don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. And then, Mr. Irvin, let's talk about another thing, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the FD, whatever they call it. I don't know the acronym right now at the top of my head, but the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Hey, I can't think of two gum at the same time. I had to slow down to the FD. Oh yeah, so the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. That sometimes there may be some violations, and Pete, you probably can add on to this too. There's probably some violations in there that individuals can utilize to help get that stuff off their credit report if they just give you guys a call.
Absolutely. I can tell you, I get calls a lot of times. The basic rules and premise of that, or how that even came about, was just the erroneous ways in which collection agencies were harassing consumers, calling them all time at night, at dinner time, and this and that, and really the power is in the hands of the consumer if they have the tools and know what to do. You can get a cease and desist where they must, according to the FDCA, they can't contact you anymore about that. There are things you can put in place so they don't take over your life. These days, I mean, they're calling your cell phone, they call you at work, they call you around dinner time, they're calling you all kind of times. Then they call other people in your family and start harassing them. That does not have to happen. That does not have to be your life. But you got to pick up the phone. You got to dial the numbers and call us. You can call Attorney Irvin, and he'll give you the number direct to him. If it's credit side, pre-trial, you can call me at 972-532-3186. And if it's a matter that needs to go into the law, I'd be happy to get you directly connected to Mr. Irvin, and he will do the same to get you connected to me. But together with Irvin Law and Credit Masters, you get all of those tools at your disposal. And that's what makes us so different from the average firm. We just really are here to help you, and we have all the tools and resources available at your disposal. But you have to call us. You have to pick up the phone, folks, and give us a call.
Give them that call. Give them that number again.
972.
You know I'm an old school radio guy. Look.
So I know we lost Emmanuel for a second there. He might be having technical difficulties on his end, but 972, and I think we might have dropped the connection, 532-3186. And I see we're still broadcasting. So that's the number. You can get myself, you can get Attorney Irvin, and you can reach him as well. You want to give your number?
Sure. You can reach me at 601-589-0235. Or you can go to www.irvin-law.com and schedule a consultation at a time that fits your schedule.
One of the things, we've done is try to make it really easy for you. So in that consultation tool, you just click on it. Our calendars come up. You find a time that works for you. It automatically will populate it in your calendar, no matter what you use, whether you use Google, whether you use Outlook, whether you use another calendar. And so it's there. We're here to help you. A lot of tools. So keep the questions coming, and we're here to help you.
Yeah, I think Emmanuel is experiencing the rainstorm. So
yeah,
I think his internet connection may have gone down. We apologize for any disruption of the broadcast, but we can keep it going. Pete, why don't you talk to us about you mentioned it on yesterday, but tell them how to get to the special that you had going. That
Absolutely.
way we can get information out to the public.
Absolutely. So yesterday I talked about the emergency stabilization kit that we've made available to everyone that's tuning into the broadcast. And it's normally $99.95. For the broadcast, we're letting it go for $9.99. The way you get to it is you go to www.irvin-law.com/product. So irvin-law.com/product take you right to the offer. There's a limited amount available at that price. So go ahead and go soon. When they're gone, they're gone. But those tools are there to help you. And it's a credit utilization calculator, a debt reduction calculator that shows you how to pay off your debt, which bill to pay first, how much to pay on it. All of those tools are there. And giving you 2 sample letters, one specifically for collection agencies and one to remove hard inquiries off your credit report. These are the inquiries that count against you. These are the ones that ding you. So the average hard inquiry, you can just factor about 4 points for every hard inquiry that is deducting from your score. So if you go to a dealership or you do a lot of shopping and you take that 20% offer, 10% offer if you apply for a new credit card. That's going to ding your credit. That's a hard inquiry. And so we have a letter that you can use, and you can use to get those hard inquiries removed. And so that's made available to you. So again, Irvin-Law, that's RRVIN dash law, LAW.com/product. All right. And that's waiting there for you. Going back to you, Charles, just thinking about some of the things you've seen just on the legal side and dealing with credit and how, because I got a question sometimes, why does credit matter? I made it this far with bad credit. I mean, why is it really important and why does it matter for me?
Well, so let's break that down from a global perspective. What does credit mean to the Black community? What does credit mean to the white community? What does credit mean to the Hispanic community? All community. We're all a part of a fabric, a quilt, some people say. Well, it has to stand and move and run on something. So those credit scores are what they use to judge you by in snap decisions when you're trying to make major purchases. A home, a car, insurance, fire alarms. Believe it or not, when they run for your security system, if you're using one of the major brands, they do it. Cell phones, they do credit checks. So all these things that are part of your everyday life, and we know now, it's not like the old days where you have one rotary phone on a long card, you walk through the house, everybody has a smartphone. So those things are the lines that you have available to you are connected to your credit score.
So wait a minute, I heard you say insurance. So does credit actually play a part in insurance, in your insurance rates as well?
It does. It does. The major companies, part of their application process is checking your credit history because they want to know whether or not you're going to be a good paymaster. They want to know whether or not they are signing on someone who is going to take care of their obligations because they can provide you with coverage, but you have to pay that premium on a monthly basis. And so that's what they use to make that snap judgment.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So, to take that a step further, here's how you know it, because they won't just come out and say, hey, your credit is the reason I can't do business with you. What happens is, from the insurance perspective, when you get a quote from the tier one insurance companies, whether it's the State Farms, the Allstates, the Farmers, the Geicos, and that insurance quote is so much higher that it's out of your price range, yeah, that's a credit issue. That's what that is.
And so let's stay with that model that you just laid out. So think about when they give you that high number. What happens when you go to the car dealership and they give you an extremely high interest rate? It's the same thing.
Right.
Same thing when you're shopping for a mortgage and you get, instead of getting a 3%, you get a 8%. All of that affects your monthly household bring home after you're paying your bills. And that credit score can be the difference between 3 and 5, 3 and 8. I mean, those points make a huge difference when you sit down and do your monthly budget.
Well, I'll put it on a millennial perspective, as one of my clients shared with me, is that they wanted to buy a better car, and they really wanted to buy this particular car. I won't call them out, I won't say what kind of car, but it was a luxury car. And they were curious and couldn't understand how somebody that they were aware that made less than them was able to buy this luxury car at a lower monthly note than what they were paying for their hoop. And so that is a credit issue. Because what they realized is that when I was able to show them, that person that's driving that luxury car and paying a lower monthly rate than you are paying for your hoopty, that's the difference in 0% financing and your 18%.
Right. And so with the manual coming back in, that's a perfect example. That's a perfect example of why good credit increases your buying power. Because you often, you have people in the community. Let's take the barbershop. People always, you have all kind of arguments going in the barbershop. The guy with the good credit is sitting back taking it all in because he knows he's figured it out. He's figured it out. Those three numbers help me keep money in the household. It gives me a wider range of things that I can purchase if I need to purchase them. I'm okay on my insurance. I'm okay on my credit card rates. I'm okay on security systems and cell phones. So if baby girl needs a new cell phone, I can go down there and get a line because my credit and my payment history is good with AT&T or Nextel or whoever it may be, Sprint, Verizon, you name it. They all check the same bureaus to see what you have in your background.
Speaking of bureaus, and Emmanuel, welcome back, man. We held it down while you were gone. You'd be proud.
I was listening on the other computer.
So that's an interesting thing. I asked somebody the other day, I said, how many bureaus are there? They said, it's got to be like 22 of them. I said, 22? Why do you say 22? They said, man, I'm always getting this. Every time I try to go buy something, I'm always getting this email from Experian and TransUnion and their cousin and their cousin and their. I said, no, it's only 3. It's just the reality that every time you get turned down for credit, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they have to send you notification along with your credit report that shows you why you got turned down for credit.
Exactly, and that's so important, And I heard you guys talking about. Make sure I'm not having any feedback. I heard you all talking about, vehicle purchases and things of that nature. It's so critically important in our communities that we realize that, credit is such a staple when it comes to growth, when it comes to changing your zip code, when it comes to whether or not your children going to go to college, if you able can get that loan or grant or, whatever it is, it's so important because we don't have a lot of times in our communities, we don't sit down and have those table room conversations with our children about the importance of credit. Because first thing they wanted to give me was a credit card. I was 18 years old and I had 5, 6 credit cards because no one taught me about the importance of credit. I went and you know exactly what happened, Charles. I messed it up. Hey, if you're around mom and daddy not there, you don't have any money, what you gonna do? You're gonna swipe that plastic. Oh, that was easy. Boom. That one don't work no more. Throw that one over there.
I call it the 2 a.m. hunger strike. See,
right.
What happens when you get hungry at 2 a.m. and the cafeteria is closed and all the restaurants are closed. So the only place you can get food is the convenience store. So then you take that credit card because you don't have any money as a college student, and you go buy up everything in the convenience store. So now you're going to spend triple the amount that you would normally spend because you're buying in a convenience store, and you got to buy twice as much.
And then you're 32, 33 years old before you even realize and even get yourself in a situation where you can get out of that hole that you put yourself in, that slump, that credit slump where we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. What we want to do here, folks, is we want to educate you. We want to teach you so you don't fall into the pitfalls of credit. We want you to get in a position where you don't have to worry about, I don't know how my kid's going to get to school because, we live so far out, but I can't afford a car, or we're right here in the inner city, but, we Uber and everything. There's nothing wrong with Uber. There's nothing wrong with Uber. However, if you want to get a vehicle, you should have the choice to go get that vehicle. If you want to get a home and put your child and put your family in a new home, you should be able to do that. We should not let credit stop us from moving forward and going to the next level. You should not get turned down for a job because you don't have a good credit score. I know a lot of people out in California in the medical industry that were getting terminated because their credit was messed up. I know individuals in the banking industry, they can't get certain security clearances because their credit is messed up. They either got student loans, they got some junk debt collector that pulled something out of the garbage can from when they was 18 years old in college, you know. So folks, this is why we want to equip you with the tools, the strategies, and insight to help you get yourself to the next level and to protect yourself from these predators out here. Again, folks, you got to give us a call and go to our website at irvin-law.com. Put your email address in, and somebody's going to get in contact with you, okay? You
And
can book a consultation there on the site. You can also go to creditmasterslive.com where you can decide where you want to go. We have a page set up on creditmasterslive.com. If you want more information about personal credit, put your information in right there, folks. If you want information about business credit, put your email in right there. If you want information about business development, put your information in so you can get the help you need. Let me tell you something. And if you know somebody that needs this service and this help, and if you're not sharing this broadcast right now, I don't care if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, you watching this broadcast, if you're not inboxing somebody, you're not telling them about Irvin Law, folks, let me tell you something. You selfish and full of pride. And you need to check up for the neck up, because it doesn't make any sense in 2017 for us to be struggling with credit when there's so much help out here. That's why we're here, folks. That's why Attorney Irvin decided to take time out of his busy schedule to make sure that he help you. That's why Mr. Leslie Peters is here to help you, folks. And that's why I'm here, Emmanuel Michael, to help you, folks, to help you get the help that you need to take your life to the next level. Again, folks, go to Irvin-Law. That's IRVIN-LAW.com. Put your information in there, and someone is going to get in contact with you. Pete, you got any final words, sir?
You know what? I do. I want you to talk to me, man, a little bit about the processing map that you've made available for them too at Irvin Law, and how that works and what to do to get some of the things we release from time to time so that you can get information as we push it out about this credit issue or new things, the things you need to know, or new products and services we may be offering, and free giveaways that we get from time to time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Folks, let me tell you about this process. This process map is going to help answer a lot of questions that I know Attorney Irvin get. I know that Pete, I know you get them all the time. A lot of questions, you know, people calling in, even when you have existing clients. Again, it goes back to education. A lot of times you just don't know what to do and where you are. The process map is going to show you the flow on how we're going to assist you with your credit each step of the way, okay? Now, it's not as detailed, but it's a quick overview. It takes you about 2-3 minutes to absorb. So if you go to irvin-law.com, you can get you a copy of the free process map as well. And then we have our emergency stabilization kit. I heard you talking about that a minute ago, but I don't want people to sleep on that, folks. It's so important that if you're in a situation where if you got a 540 credit score, you need to be calling us. Straight up.
Yeah.
You need to put your ego aside. If you're a grown man with a family and you run around here with a 400 credit score, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. It don't make any sense, man. That's why we're here to help. You know, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's only something to be embarrassed about if you're not doing anything about it. So you got to give us a call. You got to go to that website. Go ahead.
Definitely repeat that again. It's only something to be embarrassed about if you choose to ignore it. Because it doesn't have to be that way. That 3-digit number does not have to hurt you anymore.
It doesn't define you. It doesn't define you, you know. And if you're in a situation where, you know, you're getting sued or you have a collection agency that's attempting to sue you, you want to give Mr. Charles Irvin a call, you know. You want to give him a call. Now, I can't speak for any other companies or anybody else out there. All I can say is this attorney is on a live right now, live broadcast, and he's decided to step out and step up and help the community. So if you want to overlook that, then that's on you. But you can't say that the helping hand is not here. Really, the helping hand is at the end of your own arm. We just here with the tools, and we got a pool and a wealth of knowledge. Like you said, Mr. Peters, if you go get that process map, folks, we're going to be releasing so much content and information over the next 30 days during this blitz. Folks, you don't want to get left out. You want to get on our email list because there's certain things that we're going to email you that we're not going to put out to the public, only for the people that decide to take action. And we want to reward people that take action. We want to reward people that are sharing this broadcast to their friends and their family. We want you to call your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin, and tell them every day at 5:15 to 5:45 Central Time, 6:15 to 6:45 Eastern Time that we are live and we are on the air. If you're not telling people about this great information that we have here, folks, you are selfish and full of pride. Peter, go ahead, Mr. Peter, go ahead and give them the number for the credit consultation.
Two things right here. The number for the credit consultation, 972-532-3186. Again, that's 972-532-3186. And also to get the emergency stabilization kit at the low offer of $9.99. That's irvin-law.com/product. And so, and then as we close, as we get out of here, if you're in real estate and you got clients that are not qualifying, or they're close, or maybe they're close and they really want a bigger house, but they need to have a little better score so they can get a bigger loan, call us. We can help you close more deals. We can help you get those people ready so you can get them in houses that they deserve. We can help you as well. Call us.
That's right, folks. And if you have a business and your business is struggling, your business needs cash flow, we want you to go to creditmasterslive.com, put your information in about on the business side so someone can get in contact with you and show you we're going to show you a way that you, number one, can increase your business credit scores. We can show you how to acquire customers at a profit and improve your overall situation for your company and your business. See, we're not just sitting here talking about personal credit. We got business credit, personal credit, business development. You got attorney Charles Irvin there. You know, he know everything. This guy got a Juris Doctorate and a PhD. So that lets you know that's why I call him the big brother. Okay, we got Big Brother there. We can ask Big Brother anything. Big Brother got it.
I tell him, he
Mr.
can educate
Irvin,
me.
you got any final words, sir?
I do. I thank you for that. I don't know everything, but in the areas that we work in, we try to make sure we have a aggressive plan and that we take you where we need to take you. Whether it's nonprofits, we handle, everything on the credit side, business. We work with you on business development, business credit. So we have a wide range of products, and those are the things in this area. But if you have other issues, give us a call on those too. 601-589-0235 or urban-law.com.
All right. Okay, guys, we definitely appreciate it. That's the end of our episode today. We appreciate everybody hanging in there with us and working through these technical difficulties. It's storming here in Atlanta. You know, they say it's raining cats and dogs. Or it's raining very, very hard here, so it's affecting the internet signal. So hopefully we got sunny days tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, folks. We got episode 3 coming up. Tomorrow we're going over business credit mastery. We're going to talk about a little bit about business development, business credit for all you business owners out there, people that's in real estate. This can kind of help you out as well if you're an investor. So we want you to tune in tomorrow to tomorrow's show and go back and look at episode 1 from Monday. And episode 1 talks about, who we are, what we all about, and what this 30-day blitz is going to be about here every day from 5:15 to 5:45 Central Standard Time, folks. Again, my name is Emmanuel Michael with attorney Charles Irvin and master of business, Mr. Leslie Peters. Again, folks, as always, our motto here at the Credit Masters, the results are real.
See you tomorrow.